Persons who were here last week, you guys enjoyed the session last week?
Yes, Miss.
Okay, so, and today we are here for another fun session. Even my here is happy, and I'm just waiting for this information because we have something in store for you guys, and I know that you guys will enjoy today's session. Everybody ready?
Yes, Miss.
You
Yes,
sure?
Yes. Yes, Miss.
Okay. All right. So welcome everyone. I'm your in Parks. I'm the Assistant Education Outreach Officer at the Natural History, a division of the Institute of Jamaica. And today we are here for another field session and afternoon with a scientist. And I'm so happy that you guys could make it. And I do value your time, and I do hope that you guys will learn something today. Feel as enthused as I am, right? So before we start, just want to, as usual, and then we'll just jump right into our session for today. Heavenly Father, as we're about to start today's session, I just ask for your divine intervention and just help have everything flow nicely and help that whatever is being presented today, that the student beneficial to their capacity, educational capacity, and continue to be with us as we go along through this program. In your name I pray, amen. We're still having persons joining the session, but we're not going to wait on them. They can just as they come along. And before I go any further, I have Miss Tiona Thomas. Is Tiona Thomas here?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so I have Miss Tiona Thomas. She's co-hosting with me, and she's going to introduce our presenter for today. Guys, any hint? I'm not going to give you guys any clue. I want Miss Tiona Thomas to for today, and then we'll just jump right into the session. All right, so Tiona Thomas, to you.
All right, hi guys, welcome to our session for today. So I'll be introducing our guest presenter as Ms. Sparks mentioned. So our guest presenter is an environmental officer at the National Environment and Planning Agency, NEPA, where she's responsible for ensuring the protection and conservation of Jamaica's protected fauna, which are animals. Her job role encompasses a diverse range of tasks from environmental monitoring, research to wildlife response. She's currently leading the countrywide population assessment of the American crocodile in Jamaica, which is a 2-year collaborative project involving NEPA, University of the West Indies, UWI, and University of Florida, Crocodiles. The crocodile's population status is currently unknown, and significant threats such as poaching and habitat loss are negatively impacting the animal. Therefore, the data collected from this research will determine their population status and be used to develop an immediate conservation action plan, as well as a long-term monitoring program. Also, she's a part-time master's student at the UWI, with her research focusing on the American crocodile. I present to you today our guest presenter, Ms. Treya-Ann Picking.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm going to share my screen. Allow me to share my screen again. You have to change the setting.
You can go ahead now, Treya. Oh.
It's not allowing me.
Oh, give me a second, please. Oh, there you go.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Yeah, so hello, everyone. Just to make sure the presentation runs smoothly and you see all the videos, I think everyone, if you don't need to have your on, turn it off so that the internet runs much better. But yes, we're going to start with this presentation today. I'm going to be talking about protecting our crocodile habitat. And I've seen that you guys have been actually learning about the American crocodile. So pretty cool. You guys will be croc experts by the end of this, I reckon. So to talk to you all about this. So just a little introduction, which was already more or less said. My name is Treya-Ann Picking, and wildlife conservation biologist, and this profession is all saving, it's all about protecting and managing all of the plant and animal species, or all the plants and animals that we have out in the world. And at the moment, I'm actually an officer at NEPA, and I deal with protecting and managing what we have here in Jamaica, from the lizards on the wall to the big crocodile in the river, to the manatees, to the Jamaican iguana, like the list goes on. And it's a job. And I'm also a master's student where my research is actually focusing on the. So to you guys have been exploring some of the crocodile. So I'm going to add some more today. And so the first is just explaining that in Jamaica, we have one type of crocodile, and that is name is Crocodilus acutus, and it's our largest reptile that we have here in Jamaica. It's iguana, it's much bigger than our Jamaican boa. And many people ask, it's found in Jamaica, why is it called the American crocodile? Well, it's of the Americas. If you look at the map down here, if you look at in the orange is showing the range of the crocodile. And as you can see, it's found all across Central America, and also a part of America and parts of the Caribbean. So it's found in 8, including Jamaica. So with our crocodiles that we have here, they rarely exceed 14. The biggest one we have at the moment is this huge male crocodile, and he's found along the Black River in St. Elizabeth. I'm sure many of you have heard of that place. He's very chilled and he's very, very big. And our crocodiles can live up to 17. Just here's a picture of me and Terrorist. He actually comes up quite a lot and chills. He trusts the people there. He's known them for years, maybe 20, 30, 40 years. So he's pretty calm when he's it's important to also keep your distance, which I'm going to go into later on. But this favorite photos that I got to take with Terrorist. There's something about be enabled for the meeting. I'm not sure if going on to the fourth fact, where are crocodiles found? Well, they're found in wetland habitats, particularly along the south coast of our island. So this is parish from St. Thomas to Westmoreland. And they're found in rivers, they're found in mangrove swamps, ponds, and they're even sometimes found in sewage ponds, in fish ponds, and in gullies. And our crocodiles are very, very skilled. They can travel very far distances. Now, if an adult crocodile wanted to travel all the way from St. Thomas, our most, to Westmoreland, our most western parish, they could. It might take them a few days, a week, but if they put their mind to it, they would be able to do that. And how do they travel between all? They use the sea. So if you're at the beach and you see a crocodile in the sea, usual, and they're just making their way to wherever they're trying to go. Are often viewed not as the friendliest animals, because yes, they do look great to many people, and I can completely understand, but they're not as bad as I think they are. They're not that aggressive. They don't go out and attack people. They're shy. they actually don't like us very much. If you move into an area where a crocodile is more likely to flee at the sight of you than attack. I'm going to show 2 videos which perfectly sum up this reaction. So this crocodile was getting away from us very slowly but surely, and he went back into the mangrove swamp and swam along his merry way. And then this crocodile, this video, someone who walked into an area where there was a riverbank and he saw a crocodile and he approached it. This is what the crocodile did. And they can be very dramatic sometimes, as you can see from this video. So those are kind of the 2 normal reactions of our crocodile. So what do crocodiles feed on? They feed on fish, crabs, birds, decaying matter, like dead animals. And did you know that our crocodiles are on the coast? As you can see in this photo, they're seen above the helmet. And they represent of Jamaican people. So why should we purpose out there in the wetlands? Well, they keep the wetlands very, very healthy. Roots, their movements actually create pathways between them and they keep the water. And so other animals are able to move through and the mangrove is able to grow healthy. They're also a top predator. I'm sure you guys may have learned about by now and the food web. So as you know, like the top level is the most important because they control the other levels in check. They keep the ecosystem in balance, they keep it healthy. That's exactly what our crocodiles keep, the fish stocks in check. And yeah, and they're also known as of the river, meaning that when you have decaying matter, maybe dead a river, a crocodile will come and eat it. And so there you go, your water source is kept very clean. So just some bonus fun croc facts. It's something we called How to Be Crocodile, all about how to live alongside crocodiles. How to live alongside crocodiles, which is very, very possible. So the first and most important rule is to just leave. Do not feed, do not harass, and do not harm them. The thing is, when you feed, not actually making friends with them. What actually happens is that they lose that fear towards you. They start to associate you with feeding, with food. And then instead of running away from you, and they start to approach you. And then this can lead to a very, very negative interaction, such as an attack. The other crocodile's rule is to always respect their space, all distance. If you see a crocodile, stand from afar, take a picture, and then go out. The other thing is to always avoid swimming in wetland habitats, especially at night. It's very, very hard because a lot of our rivers are along the south coast. A lot of people swim in them. But at night, your visibility is low. You can't see well, so you can't be. And also, crocodiles are very, very active at night. This is when they tend to go out and hunt fish, crabs, and birds. So, going on to we need to protect our crocodiles. Well, currently, crocodiles face quite a lot of threats. The main ones are poaching, also known as illegal hunting, where protected by law are being hunted by people and it's making populations around the island go down. And so it could lead to maybe crocodiles disappearing completely or even island wide, and we don't want that. And then the other thing is that we're a growing population. As you can see, we're building houses every day, we're building commercial developments, and a lot of the times they may be built habitats. And so the crocodiles lose their home, they have to seek out new. So how does my team at NEPA protect crocodiles? We do a lot of public education and outreach. Just like this, we talk to people, we talk to schools, we talk to local communities about crocodile and about crocodile safety and appreciation, and just to let people know as we think they are. And then we also do wildlife response. So sometimes crocodiles might get, you know, they might end up on the roadside. You might have seen on the news, sometimes they end up in a playground, they end up in someone's house, because a lot of the times they're wetland habitat areas. And so what we do, we go out there, we capture them, and we help find their way back by placing them in a wetland habitat nearby. So we just help. And these two pictures on the screen are showing two responses that we did. One was a 7-foot female that came up in a mechanical yard, and it was right by sea. So we think she just got a bit lost. She was just trying to find her way back. And then with the children, this juvenile crocodile actually came up in someone's yard after a period of heavy rainfall. And sometimes what happens is crocodiles will follow the floodwaters, and waters disappear, they get stranded. So they gave us a call, we went out there, kids, and they were really, really excited to see the crocodile and to learn all about it, and took pictures. We showed them how we measure the crocodiles, how we weigh them, how we tag them. Really, really good day. And then we also do enforcement. So because crocodiles are protected by, we have to make sure that people are obeying these laws, and we monitor the population if there's a crime against crocodiles. Okay, and last but not least, we also do research. So currently, an island-wide survey of the American crocodile in Jamaica, because as had said, the population is unknown. We're not sure how many are out there. And in order to about an animal and to protect them effectively, you need to know how many they are, how they relate to their environment, and how they relate to humans. We are actually, the two main aims of this project are to determine how are left in the wild and how much wetland habitat is left. And so these are just some photos from our projects, from the project over the past year and a half. This is actually a drone survey. As you can see, the two crocodiles seen. And as you know, those, I don't even know how to explain it, but they're like which you fly up in the sky and you can see the view from far up. It can help you monitor the crocodile population. So we've been doing that. We also found these are actually hatched crocodile eggs. Pretty cool. This is a crocodile that one of our surveys, and we took some data from it. We pit tagged it. And then the others are just us weighing a croc, carrying a boat, and taking data. So one of the supporters for our project, the Jamaica Conservation Partners, recently did a video which explains the project. So I'm going to play that right now. Hope you guys enjoy.
Excuse me, I'm not anything.
Miss Vito, I'm not hearing anything.
I'm not hearing anything.
I'm not hearing anything.
Yes. No. Miss, can you turn up your volume, please? Volume, please, miss.
Tell me if you hear something now.
Still
You
nothing.
guys hear it?
I can't hear anything.
No, we're still not hearing Treya.
Okay. I have the video on another application, so I can try and bring it up there. 1 second.
The audio and the video at the same time. When you're sharing, there are two boxes at the bottom. You have to click share video when you're sharing it.
On the other application? Or right now?
Or yes, in the other application.
Okay, let me just do that 1 second. Hopefully this works. Okay, let me share my screen again. And oh, wait, just bring it back up again. I'm not seeing it. I hope you guys can hear it. 1 sec.
Yes, miss. Hear it now.
Okay, great. Wait.
My name is Treya-Ann Picking, and I'm an MPhil student in zoology in the Life Sciences Department at the University of the West Indies Mona campus. I'm also an environmental officer at the National Environment and Planning Agency. So we're serving a variety of both natural and man. So this may vary from rivers to coastal lagoons to mangrove swamps to sewage ponds, which crocodiles are found in, which we believe is in light of habitat loss. And so they are moving into these artificial habitats to kind of find a safe haven. At night, to do nocturnal eye shine surveys, because this is when the animals are most active. And they're easy to use, like flashlights, and the light reflects off their eyes. It gives kind of an orange. We also do capture surveys, and this involves actually going out in boats and trying to capture crocodiles. And we basically catch them and we assess them for body conditions. So we take measurements, we take weight, we pit tag them, we do scoop clippings, so that if we recapture that animal, we can see how fast they've grown and also how well they're doing in their environment. Surveys. So this is usually done during the days, and we go out into wetland habitats and nesting beaches where crocodiles usually nest, and also riverbanks, and we search for nests and also hatch nests. So our crocodiles are protected both by national and they're an apex predator. They're our largest native reptile. They're very important for the environment, economically, and also culturally. Unfortunately, there is a lack of to the population in Jamaica, and so this is the first ever comprehensive island-wide survey that is being conducted. This research is urgently needed due to the threats that the population is currently facing, such as habitat loss and fragmentation and poaching. And so we're unsure what these threats are having on the population, and we need to know more about the population in order to implement an effective conservation and management plan.
Okay, was everyone able to view that clearly, or?
Some, I'm able to do it.
Some lagging. There was some lagging. It was lagging.
Oh, okay, could you, for the most part?
Yes,
Yes,
miss.
Okay.
I see and hear it clear.
Okay, great. What I can do is, this presentation is over, I will send the links to the video so you guys can watch it in your own time. So before we get onto the quiz, just a quick quiz, thank and acknowledge all the partners that have made this research, this crocodile research, There's NEPA, the University of Florida Croc Docs, the University of the West Indies, partners, and also all the individuals and entities that have assisted with the field work. This project definitely wouldn't have been possible or hasn't been possible without teamwork, and guys is key in everything. So quiz time. You guys raise your hands in this session. Are you able to?
Yeah.
Yes, they can.
No,
Alright.
I can.
Okay, so we're going to do that, although I don't know first, so this is going to be interesting. Would you like, when they raise their hand, would you just choose someone to answer?
I'm on it.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so the first quiz is, so if you were listening carefully, this should be easy peasy for you. So crocodiles to blank space at the sight of humans, then blank face, blank. And the options are right here. So raise your hands and let's see who answers correct.
Okay, I see here Jazara Butcher. Boucher, you can go ahead and answer.
Okay, crocodiles are most likely to sight of humans than attack.
Nice, great. Easy peasy, congrats. Easy peasy for you. It's just some true and false. So the American crocodile is found across countries. Is this true or false?
The boy Joseph. You can go ahead.
You said true?
Yes, yes.
Correct. Who wants to go again?
Miss can.
Okay. And whoever said false, can you tell me how many the American crocodile is found across? Oh,
Miss, can I?
yeah, sure. Go ahead.
See.
Nice. Well done. Okay, next question. True or false? Crocodiles use the sea to migrate between different wetland habitats.
True.
Our crocodiles do use the sea quite often. And last, crocodiles can live up to 200 years old. Is this true or false?
False.
False.
How many years can they live up to?
70 years.
Nice. Yes, crocodiles can live up to 6 years. That's what our records are showing. So the last question for this activity, just a quick short answer question. What do our crocodiles feed on? Name 2 items.
Fish.
Crabs and fish. Crabs and fish. Yes, crabs and fish.
Correct, yes. We said crabs, fish, birds, and decaying matter.
Excuse me, miss. Miss, is this crocodile expecting or is it just?
He's just a bit chunky. He was actually called, and he came up by a guest house, through the gates of a guest house in Treasure Beach. So he got a bit lost. He was trying to get from the pond to the sea, and sometimes when there's a house or a human structure in the way, the crocodiles may get a bit and enter the property. So that's exactly what happened. I mean, we made jokes that he was to the hotel, but he was safely relocated to the Black River. So that's where we released him. And he was a big guy. He actually measured 10 feet. Okay, so
what's the normal size?
Well, that's a tricky one. It just depends where we're surveying. what kind of habitat you're in. So we mainly find crocodiles that's around 6 feet, between 5 and 7 feet.
Okay, thank you.
Miss,
Yes.
Miss, if you put a crocodile, you know,
Put a crocodile and a snake together, what will happen?
That was my question.
I don't think much would happen. Never observed it myself, and because in the wild, wild, snakes live in more forested areas, whereas crocodiles mainly habitats. They don't really cross paths much, so I don't think much would happen. Maybe each other.
Miss,
Yes.
how much days or months a crocodile take to hatch?
So the females lay their eggs around as early and as late as say June, and the kind of average period, which is where the eggs are in the ground and whether in the sand or the river, nice and incubating and cooking, usually takes around 90 days. So 3 months.
Miss, if you put
Miss,
Mhm.
crocodiles, like, if you kill a crocodile's baby, will the crocodile know you? Will he still want to kill you?
Well, with our crocodiles, the mothers actually don't stay with the hatchling that long. So it depends. Sometimes the mothers may stay with the hatchling months or even just a day, but they can be very protective. But I think they tend to be less protective of their hatchlings because they want to be independent. So if it was that a hatchling got injured, mother she probably wouldn't notice. It depends where she is and if she sees. Wouldn't recommend that at all.
Miss,
Can you and crocodiles as pets when they're born, or you can't?
So that's a very, very good question. So yes, crocodile babies are they are wild animals, and it's not a good idea to have wild animals, especially when they can grow up to 14 feet, and they're very, very hard to look after. To be trained in order to do so. And also it's legal, you know, the law, like they're protected by law, so you're not allowed to have crocodiles in Jamaica.
Miss, can you eat a crocodile?
Hi guys, can you give her a chance to respond?
So you're not allowed to eat crocodiles. It's illegal. Their population is not big enough to do so. But there are other parts of the world, like in the United States, American alligator, and some other parts where they eat crocodiles. But it's regulated. So it's a legal thing, it's monitored, it's regulated, and it's not just done, you know, out of the blue. So in Jamaica, no, you cannot eat crocodiles.
Miss, so if you were to crocodile and
Wait, one at a time, because I can't hear when you're all talking.
Miss,
Hey guys, you need to raise your hand if you need soon as possible, but one at a time, guys. Okay, go ahead.
Miss, is a crocodile stronger than a tiger? Than a cheetah, miss? American crocodile.
That's a good question. I don't know if you guys have seen like the wildlife documentaries in like around the River Nile or like, like South Africa, like it comes on Nat Geo. Sometimes you see these really cool videos of like a crocodile taking down like a big cat, like a tiger. Or sometimes the crocodile is unsuccessful. It just really depends on the size of the animal and also where the animal is. Because if a crocodile is in the water, it has more strength and it'll probably be able to take down, versus if it's on land, it's much harder for the crocodile to do that.
Miss, how do you know if it's a female or a male?
That's a good question. So when crocodiles reach around 2-3 feet, we have a method where the opening of their sexual organ is called the cloaca, and it's found right above where their tail starts. And what we do is we probe it, and you can feel whether the crocodile has a penis or a vagina.
Miss, so if you see a crocodile and if a crocodile is walking your home, what will you do, Miss?
If a crocodile what?
If a crocodile walks in your home, what will you do?
That's a very good question. So if a crocodile was to walk onto your property, you would immediately keep your distance, stay inside, and you would call the National Environment and Planning Agency, or you can call the nearest police station. And the worst thing to do is to try and trouble the animal or capture the animal. You should just wait on the police or NEPA to arrive or to talk to you.
Excuse me, Miss?
Yes.
Miss, that was the exact same thing that happened to my brother, Miss. Miss, he was
What
in
happened?
Portmore. He was in Portmore at the time. Miss, he and his girlfriend was walking and they saw a big crocodile. And after that, they called NEPA and they came and took the crocodile and released the crocodile in a nearby river.
Yes, that sounds just about right. That's pretty cool, right?
Miss,
that's what you should do.
Miss,
Miss, if you were to put a anaconda and a crocodile in the water, would the
An anaconda or a crocodile in the water, what?
If you were to put a anaconda and a crocodile to fight in the water, would the anaconda win?
Oh, I'm not sure. I couldn't answer that. I don't know. Sure, I'll Google that after.
Excuse me, Miss.
Excuse me, Miss. If there any crocodiles 65 million years ago, were there any crocodiles back then?
Yes. So our crocodiles have been around since the dinosaurs. So they relate back to how many millions of years ago. So one thing I really love about crocodiles is they are basically living dinosaurs. They have evolved from dinosaurs. Yes.
Miss?
Yes, go ahead.
Largest crocodile in the salt water?
Pardon?
Are the largest crocodiles in the salt waters?
Okay, so in Jamaica, our crocodiles are found everywhere. So it doesn't really matter on size, because our largest crocodile that we know, he lives along the Black River. But what tends to happen is that larger crocodiles will be found in larger habitats. So you're not going to really find like a huge 14-foot crocodile in a small pond. You're more likely to find them in like a big river, like the Black River, where they have a large territory to roam, or like a huge coastal lagoon. So yeah, it doesn't matter about size. Our crocodiles, once they're about 2-3 feet, they can kind of swim anywhere.
Okay. What is the daily diet? What's the daily diet?
Daily diet. So our crocodiles don't actually eat that often. Sometimes they can eat like a few fish and they'll be good for a week. So the daily diet just really depends. Sometimes they won't eat anything for the day. They'll just go out and swim. They'll sunbathe on a surface, and then they'll just wander around.
If you mix the genes of a crocodile with a snake, would it survive?
If you put a crocodile with a snake, would it survive?
know if you mix the genes of a crocodile and a snake, but it
Oh.
survives.
I don't think you can do that. I don't know. That's beyond
Can you
the
pet a
science
crocodile?
for me. Can I what?
Can you pet a crocodile?
So because they're wild animals, we do not encourage people to pet them. What we do though is that when we respond to crocodile cases and the animal is restrained, where we tape the mouth, we may cover the eyes to keep them calm, and we have the animal safely secured. We allow people who are there at the site to like take photos, to even like feel the crocodile, because some people have never felt a crocodile and it's pretty cool to see what they feel like. And so that's the closest, safest thing we have to petting crocodiles in Jamaica.
Excuse me, the name of the smallest crocodile.
Teeth, what? Can you open a crocodile's mouth and brush your teeth?
You could if you wanted to, but there's no need. They keep their teeth pretty clean, and by what they eat, and then they're always in the water, and then they also lose teeth quite often, and they get new teeth coming through. So in terms of their oral hygiene, I think they're pretty good. So we don't need to brush their teeth.
Miss, if you would a crocodile and a snake from birth, what they mate?
If you mixed a crocodile with a what?
If you were to keep a crocodile and a snake from birth, would they mate?
No, they wouldn't, because they're two different types of species. And in order for two animals to mate, they need to be the same type. That's usually the rule of science.
How many
of
types
biology.
of animals or how many types of crocodiles?
So in terms of how many crocodiles around the world, I believe we have in the family of crocodilians, and this includes crocodiles, alligators, caimans, the false gharial, the Indian gharial. It's around 26 species, but it's always changing because with research and a lot of science, people are discovering new species of crocodiles around the world. So they have differences in their genetics and they become a type within themselves, so like a species within themselves, so they become defined as unique. Wait, one at a time. Anyone have any more questions?
All right. Guys, you need to mute your mics. All right, so we're going to take one more question. Is everybody hearing me?
Yes.
We're going to take one last question and then we're going to wrap up the session, okay? So who's going to ask the final question?
When you examine the alligator, miss, when you examine the alligator at night, miss, would you just put it back in the water, miss, or you just give it a little pet and then put it back?
Okay, so we have crocodiles, but I get what you're saying. So when we go out and catch crocodiles, we catch them, and what we want to do is assess their body condition. And how we do this is that we take measurements. So we measure from their snout to their tail. We measure like their head length, their neck width, their tail girth. We also take their weight because we want to see if their body mass is healthy. And what else do we do? And we also check them for parasites and other things that might be on their skin. And we also pit tag them. So with our pit tags, it's basically an injection which we insert at the side of their tail and we scan it and it gives them a unique code. So if we catch that crocodile again, we know exactly what size it was last time, where it was found, and how it's doing in the wild. So those are the three main things that we do when we catch crocodiles, and then we release them back where we found them and they swim and go on their merry way.
Miss, Almost
Okay, thank you, Treya.
that
Guys, you need to mute your mic. We're going to wrap up the session now.
Everyone is full of questions. It's amazing. Love it.
Just ask one more question. Do you know the name of the smallest crocodile?
The smallest crocodile?
Yes, miss.
So when they're born, they're around maybe like 15 centimeters, even 10 to 15 centimeters. So they're pretty small when they're born, like babies.
Have they tried to ask you any?
Is there
No,
a crocodile?
I've never been attacked by a crocodile. The closest I've come to is when we try and catch them and they get very defensive because of course, like you're threatening them. They think you're threatening them because you're trying to catch them. So they might like whip their tail, they may go with their mouth, but they don't. We have a certain technique that we use. So we ensure that we don't hurt the animal and we don't hurt ourselves in the process.
Miss, if you mix a human DNA and the crocodile's DNA and put it in the human and the crocodile, will they both die?
I think something would possibly go wrong.
Okay, Treya. Okay, Treya, thank you. Guys, you need to mute your mic now.
Is there a crocodile can a crocodile be born without any teeth?
With no teeth?
No feet.
No feet. I've never known of a case where that's happening. I know sometimes crocodiles are born with certain deformities. It can happen. So it could happen.
A crocodile is sick. How do you know? Do you know how long a crocodile can be when it's grown?
Fully grown, like we have our biggest one is 14 feet.
Miss, if you were to gene the DNA of a crocodile with a shark, would it survive?
I don't think so, no. You guys are asking me questions that I'm questioning myself about.
If a shark and a crocodile fought, would the shark win or would the crocodile win?
That's a hard question. I think it really depends on the strength of the crocodile and the strength of the shark and the size of both, because you have different types of sharks and you have different types of crocodiles and different ages. So it would depend.
So I have one question. That is how do you know?
Miss, a unrelated question to the topic, but are there any types of sharks that do not attack? Unrelated question.
I mean, there are some species of sharks that are a lot shyer and less aggressive than others. So like a nurse shark is one, but sharks don't just go out of their way to attack people. It's just kind of like crocodiles. You have cases where there may be a negative interaction between a human and a shark, but there are ways to prevent it in most cases.
You know, a little baby shark and a little baby crocodile. Would they fight each other?
No, I think they might be curious and check each other out, but I mean, maybe if the shark's slightly bigger, it might try and eat the crocodile baby. It just depends.
Can I kiss a crocodile?
I wouldn't recommend it. But yeah, if you wanted to, but it would have to be in a safe way.
Miss, are crocodiles born with fungi? Do they have fungi anywhere in their body?
Yeah, I believe they do, yeah. Or growing on them.
Miss, if a crocodile bites you, does the crocodile have poison?
No, crocodile doesn't.
Okay.
It's not venomous. They're not venomous. So if they did bite you, you wouldn't
Miss,
have
if
Miss, if a
possibility.
crocodile bites you,
Okay,
what's the
guys.
procedure?
Miss, if you were
Guys,
to
you need
just
to quiet down. You guys need to mute your mic now.
From
Guys, you need to mute your mics now. We have to wrap up the session right now. So we're going to thank Miss Treya. You guys hearing me clearly?
Yes,
yes,
miss.
we are.
Okay, so we're going to thank Miss
Yes,
Treya for being the presenter for today. And Miss Treya, you can see how enthusiastic they are about
Yes.
the topic today. Okay,
It's
so we have to
amazing.
wrap
Thank
up,
you,
guys.
Miss
So we'll
Treya.
have to have a part 2 for you
Yes.
guys.
Thank
All
you,
right.
Miss Treya.
But I just want to thank Treya for, making herself available to share with us today. We really do appreciate it. And I did learn something. I learned a lot about crocodiles today. And I just want to thank you very much for making yourself available to share with us today. And I know the students appreciate it a lot as well. All right.
thank you.
It was an honor to
Thank you,
speak
Miss
to you
Treya.
guys. Thank you so much for listening.
Thank
Okay,
you.
guys.
Thank you,
I
Miss
want to thank you
Treya.
guys
Bye.
as well.
Thank you,
Thank you
Miss.
guys for
Bye.
tuning
Thank
in.
you, Miss.
Bye.
Bye. Miss.
Thank you guys.
Bye.
Bye, Miss
All
Treya.
right, so thank you guys
Bye,
for
Miss
joining
Treya.
us each week.
Bye. Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a good day,
Bye.
guys.
Thank you, Miss.
Thank you,
Bye.
Miss. Same to you.
Have a great day. Bye. Have a good day. Bye.
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 Bye-bye for you. Bye-bye for you.